Alrighty, today is Saturday, April 1st. I'm going to finally, it's taken me a while, but I'm finally going to get to taking down the raspberry bushes. This up here, raspberry wise. The blueberries are starting to bud already. The raspberries are still dormant. I wanted to get the blueberries too, but that's not going to happen today because the blueberries are starting to get buds on them and the raspberries are still dormant. So I'm going to get the raspberries dug up, split up, and hopefully planted today. If I don't get them all planted, that's fine. They'll be in a bucket of water until tomorrow when I finish up. But I should hopefully get all this done today. Getting a little later start than I wanted to, but stuff happens. This morning it was raining and miserable, and it's supposed to be really windy and nasty out today, but it's turned out to be a really beautiful day. But anyways, I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you how I dig them up and how I'm going to split them. So let me set you up and we'll get started. Alright, so as you can see, hopefully you can see, this right here is actually coming out of one plant. These 5 right here are coming out of one root. This one right here was last year's canes. It wouldn't have grown. I tried to trim back all of them that won't grow. They'll only grow fruit 1 year, this particular variety. So I'm just going to stick my shovel in the ground. Try to anyways, it's pretty rocky. So that right there, this right here where it's cut, this here will actually grow. This here will actually grow a plant. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna make every one of these canes, every cane its own plant. Not necessarily right now when I dig them up, but I'm going to before I plant them in the ground. So for right now, I'm just gonna set them off to the side, and I'll prune them back before I plant them. As loose as this soil is, I can probably, yeah, see how they grow. That's how they propagate themselves. Is they just spread like that. So you got 2 canes here. This one, when I plant it, I'll probably just cut it in half right here somewhere, and I'll just put this half of the root and then that half of the root. But for right now, I'm just going to set them off to the side. I'm going to go through and do this to all these canes. Probably get my pruners and prune some of them back a little bit too. But this is coming out pretty easy, so I won't even have to shovel much. That and there's perfect root. Look how nice that is. So I'm gonna go get a bucket of water so I can throw these in the water, and I'm gonna go get my pruners so I can trim some of the roots back so I don't have so much to take down below. And look right there, just first one of them I've seen all year. Of course, he's not dead either. Stink bugs. Huh, interesting. So that's all of them. Here's blueberries. And then back here's blackberries. I want to move the blueberries yet, but they are starting to bloom, starting to get buds on them. I don't know. I know you can't see those, it's too sunny, too shady. They're definitely starting to bud. I'd rather do it when they're dormant. I don't want to do it now when they're starting to bloom, so I'll probably do it this fall. I know where I want them. I got 6 blueberry bushes up here. I got a bunch of asparagus back behind the camera that you can't see, and it's weeds took up over that, so I'm going to dig them up too, but I'm not going to get them today. The rest of the day it's going to take me the rest of the day most likely to get these pruned up, to get those all pruned up and split up and planted. So I'm going to take you down there and see how I do that. Ready? So I got all the raspberries pulled, as you've seen me just pull them all. I got 3 totes. Three totes. There's a lot of raspberry bushes there. A lot of raspberry plants. There's a fair many raspberry plants. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prune them. Prune them how I'm going to prune them, and I'm going to put them in buckets of water. So these totes are full of water. I'm going to prune them. I'm going to prune the roots and the length of them and put those in a bucket of water. This is going to be the best way to do it. So for me, just going to grab one. This one here doesn't. This one here, ouch, they're prickly too. I should put my gloves back on. This one here was getting ready to shoot another shoot out, if you can see that. I'm not going to worry too much about that one. I'm just going to cut it off. I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to stick this right here in the bucket. And that's all. And that's really, at this point, that's all I'm really. Let me get a bigger one. See, one like this, I don't necessarily want all of that top growth at this point because they went through shock somewhat. They're gonna go through transplant shock. So I cut the top off. This cane here is last year's cane. It won't grow any raspberries this year, and I can tell that because it's more woody. Last year's cane, what grew fruit last year won't grow fruit this year on this type of raspberry. Then I'm gonna split that in half. And I'll have this plant. I'm gonna cut a little bit more root off. I'm gonna prune the roots just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. That's a good plant right there. And on this one, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna cut the roots. Just like so. And I'm gonna do that with all these. Alright, I got all of them cut, pruned, as you see me prune some of them. And the mess behind the videographer lady, that's all the tops and the roots that I cut off. Those will actually, once I get those planted down there, I'll just gather that up and I'll take it and throw it on top of the, just use it as mulch. I'll use that as mulch on the raspberry bed. So right now I'm going to go down there and plant these. I'm not sure how many of them I'll plant. I would assume I'll have some left over, but I don't know that for sure. So if you want to walk along, you can see me plant these. The wind definitely picked up. They were calling for heavy winds today, but it was supposed to start at like 8 o'clock this morning, and it finally got here about, I don't know, 1 o'clock this afternoon. don't know if you can hear me through that or not, but it's pretty dang windy. I'm going to show you how I plant these. If I can stand up, that gust was bad. Show you how I plant them, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and put it away before it falls over. So you need to shake get the wood chips back. Just grab them. Shove it down in, stomp it good. Put the wood chips back. Now I need to do that about 20 million more times and I'll have this bed finished.
If you don't get blown away first.
Right, exactly. We're going to put you away and I'm going to do this and I'll bring you back when I'm done. This is the next morning. Well, actually it's next afternoon. Whenever you seen us getting blown away down on that end yesterday, literally blown away. It was like honestly hard to stand up out here. And it wasn't long after that, we got probably 3/4 of it done, and it started hailing and dumping down the rain. We went in, we called it, and then I finished this morning. But so we're done. I put roughly 90 bushes in. Roughly there's 90 raspberry bushes in right here. I didn't count all of the rows. I counted that row. There's 30 in there. So if there's 30 in all of them, that's 90 total. So one thing I did notice whenever I was doing that right there is some robin eggs. She laid them in the ground. She's squawking right now. She's running up this way.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's showing how mean she is. I tried to protect them. She was just the one a minute ago. We're going to walk away from this area so she can have her eggs back. But we do have a bunch of these left.
Here she comes.
We have a bunch of these left. I'm going to move that. I'm going to move this whole thing over. There. Now she can have her eggs. So I'm going to hill these in. I'm going to get we got some green flower pots about that big around. I'm going to get 1 or 2 of them, fill it up with dirt, and just plant these in it and hill them in. So we're going to sell these. We're going to sell these bare roots just like they are. These will be Friday pickup. There's some nice looking plants here, nice roots on them. You've seen me cut them up and clean them. So they're going to be, I don't know how many there are, probably 50 or 60 I would guess. These will be $2 a piece bare root. If we got to pot them up, if I have to pot them up because they are starting to grow, then naturally the price will go up. But right now they'll be bare root for Friday pickups. We'll put them on the online store tonight, which it'll be Sunday. I'll hopefully get this video out tonight, but you'll see these on the site Sunday night. I'll leave a link below for that. So if you want some raspberry bushes, there's nothing wrong with them. There's a lot there.
And they was looking nice
$2
yesterday.
a piece. So yeah, and they still look good. Even after it snowed. Actually, there was snow on the ground. Yesterday morning I was in a t-shirt. This morning when I got up there was 2 inches of snow on the ground. Now it's melted off again. So this weather's just weird. But anyway, that's going to wrap this up. Make sure you check out our raspberries. If no one wants them, I don't know. I don't know if I'll pot them up or just plant them somewhere. But who knows for sure. But anyways, till we meet again, take care and God bless.